Being a K-pop idol is both a physically and mentally demanding task. They not only have to keep up with hectic schedules, but also have to spend time honing their performance skills and working out to keep a perfect body. Despite all that, idols are not allowed to show their weaknesses, as they are always at the center of attention, where everyone expects them to bring out only fancy images. But sometimes they just can't try anymore and show signs of extreme weariness. Below are some heartbreaking cases when idols were totally exhausted from overworking. Number 1. Jang Wonyoung, IVE. It is reasonable to state that Wonyoung might be one of the most popular idols of the fourth generation. Debuting in 2018 as the center of IVE's One, she has captured the hearts of K-pop fans worldwide. Her reputation has rocketed non-stop since she debuted in 2021 with Starship Entertainment's new girl group, IVE. Though becoming the most popular member of a successful monster rookie, giving her several gigs, from hosting a music show to being the ambassador of several brands, her back-to-back schedules really spark concern among fans. On September 25th, Wonyoung attended an event in Paris for the French jewelry brand Fred, where she is currently an ambassador. Then, just after a 3-day stay, she had to return to South Korea immediately to gather with IVE's members for their appearance at Chungbuk University's music festival. Although Wonyoung still performed energetically and put 100% effort into the stages, it was noticeable that the female idol appeared really tired and stifling. Specifically, when Yoojin was making a speech before IVE performed Love Dive, Wonyoung was seen short of breath and had to place a hand on her chest. Although the female idol tried to hide her tiredness with a bright smiley face, she still looked so exhausted and could barely stand still after the performance. Wonyoung's alarming health condition made her fans furious with the way Starship Entertainment overworked an 18-year-old like Wonyoung. They even trended the statement, "Starship, let Wonyoung rest," demanding the company take her physical health into serious consideration. It is noted that Wonyoung's schedule in a short period of time is extremely jam-packed. And I'll give you an example. On September 30th, she had to film for Music Bank as their MC, then moved to perform with IVE at 2 different music festivals on the same day, one in Seoul and one outside the capital. 2 days later, IVE organized a fan site just before Wonyoung flew back to Paris to attend Miu Miu fashion event. Continuously, on October 6th, 7th, and 8th, IVE was booked to appear at several university festivals. As Wonyoung is the most famous member of IVE, if not the most famous female idol in the industry, thus being sought by several brands, Starship Entertainment is clearly overworking her to make as much profit as they can. Without ample time to eat, sleep, and rest, Wonyoung's health is severely damaged by these packed schedules, leading to her looking malnourished and lifeless. Previously, Wonyoung made fans and netizens all taken aback with her scrawny body while performing at M Countdown, which was remarkably skinnier than she had been while being an IVE One member, and even when she first debuted with IVE. With her recent condition, it is obvious that Wonyoung should be given enough time to rest and improve her health. But things didn't seem to change, as Wonyoung is still busy with tons of domestic and international schedules. Number 2. Luna. Recently, in 2022, Luna participated in Queendom 2, a show for underrated K-pop girl groups. Although they didn't become the champion, Luna still went viral for their outstanding performances, which attracted numerous fans. However, since the frequency of their concerts is too high, Luna's jam-packed schedule has become a topic of discussion on online forums, making their fans really worried. Recently, on Instas, a user brought Luna's schedule for their world tour to light, including their other schedules in between shows. Immediately, that sparks concern among both Luna's fans and netizens, as the group's schedule is too tight and intensive. It was pointed out that all members would get little to no break between shows, which had extremely negative effects on their health. In fact, some of Luna's members ended up getting exhausted due to a lack of rest time. Since the world tour Luna the World started, Blackberry Creative had to make announcements about some members' absence in some of their schedules. In less than 1 month, 6 members of Luna had serious health problems and couldn't keep up with the plan of their concert. On August 12th, My Music Taste made a statement that Kim Lip couldn't participate in Luna's meet and greet event in Chicago due to health issues. On August 18th, the group's concert, as well as meet and greet event in Washington, D.C., also had to proceed without Jin Sol for the same reason. On August 24th, Yeonjin was absent from Luna's concert and meet and greet event in Atlanta because she was suffering from body pain. 5 days later, during Luna's concert in Mexico City, she even passed out on stage, making the audience really panicked. On August 27th, Chori was announced to be sick and couldn't show up in all of Luna's schedules in Houston. A week later, on September 3rd, Blackberry Creative informed that the female idol couldn't participate in the group's world tour in Europe due to health issues. On September 6th, because of a shoulder injury, Hazel couldn't continue her schedule in Europe, and according to a netizen, the female idol even had to come back to Korea to receive treatment. On September 8th, Eve caught a fever and was absent from Luna's concert as well as meet and greet events. Despite all that, after their Europe tour finished in September, Luna even had to head straight to Japan for their Japanese concert on October 1st. Needless to say, fans and netizens were extremely furious with the way Blackberry Creative neglected Luna's health condition and overworked them for the sake of money. That some of their fans even asked to cancel all the remaining concerts since they value their idols' wellness more than a few shows. Number 3. Oneus. 2 months after their successful release of the 6th mini-album Blood Moon, with Luna as the title song, Oneus' mini-album suddenly became the topic of controversy on Korean online forums, because fans and netizens noticed the number of fan signs the group planned to organize. Specifically, for this comeback, Oneus had a full schedule of 46 fan signs, both offline and online, not to mention their presence in reality shows, performance stages, and in B productions. At the same time, Oneus has participated in several concerts from the second half of 2021 to the time being, and RBW Entertainment also released a teaser about their second tour in America. This harsh schedule clearly exhausted all Oneus' members, leaving them with injuries without time to recover. And the epitome is that recently, many K-pop newspapers stated that 2 members of Oneus, Lido and Sean, would go on hiatus for a certain time due to health reasons. Specifically, Lido was diagnosed with skin inflammation, and Sean suffered from a knee strain. According to Soompi, both of them were advised by medical professionals to take a break for 1 to 2 weeks. However, just a few hours after the articles were released, Lido and Sean still showed up at an offline fan sign, and both of them showed noticeable signs of burnout. Not only that, Oneus' fans also noticed that the two even had difficulties in walking. Immediately, fans took to Twitter to express their irritation with the way RBW Entertainment overworked their idols, saying that 2Moon are tired of seeing Oneus running around all the time and constantly getting hurt, and the company should have let Oneus rest for at least a whole month from then. However, despite fans' demands and warnings, RBW still refused to make further statements, making netizens believe that the company was directly prioritizing profit over idols' health. Number 4. Jennie, Blackpink. Although the fact that Jennie was overworked is not a recent event, but a thing of 2 to 3 years ago, it was not until recently that she revealed how miserable she was around that time due to having to keep up with Blackpink's hectic schedules. Specifically, in a recent interview with Rolling Stone, Jennie revealed that she and other members of Blackpink had to work relentlessly to achieve their ambition in the music industry. As one of the most hunted K-pop idols, Jennie often suffered from burnout while working non-stop for 3 years straight. Due to the intensive schedule as a member of the top girl group as well as a famous soloist, Jennie hardly had any time to rest. She shared that, "Our sleep systems were breaking down. We weren't eating properly. I wasn't hydrating myself. We were on tour for 1.5 years. For 1.5 years, I didn't have a home. Because of that, Jennie's immune system was significantly weakened, to the point that she would have an allergic reaction whenever she touched something." From November 2018 to February 2020, Blackpink organized their first world tour, In Your Area. This world tour took place in 18 countries and went through 26 cities all over the world. With nearly 500,000 tickets sold and $56.8 million in profit, In Your Area became the most profitable world tour of a K-pop girl group. However, that massive profit goes hand in hand with the unbelievably intense schedule, which exhausted Jennie to the extreme. The proof is that in Blackpink's concert in Macau, she nearly fainted and couldn't continue performing.
So Jennie 언니 wanted us to give you guys a quick notice. She says that she's not feeling very good right now. She wants to thank everybody for making it to the concert.
In addition to numerous concerts with Blackpink, Jennie also had a busy schedule of her own. She collaborated with Gentle Monster to release 2 glass collections, Gentle Home and Gentle Garden, and ran a campaign. At the same time, Jennie is the global ambassador of Calvin Klein and Chanel. In the last few years, she has attended tons of fashion events, commercials, interviews, and taken countless photo shoots for magazines as well as brands. Not only that, Jennie even had to spend some of her limited time filming HBO's movie, The Idol. As Blackpink's upcoming schedule will be tight again, since their world tour Born Pink started, fans began to feel worried and wished that Jennie wouldn't get overworked, as well as have enough time to rest. So, are these idols really being exploited? Or are their fans just worrying too much? And which of these idols do you think deserves an immediate break? Comment down below to share your thoughts with us. Also, remember to like, share, and subscribe to BeBoss TV for more interesting K-pop content. Thank you for watching.